Greatness doesn't begin with money, connections, or luck. It begins with a single thing: your thoughts. This timeless truth has shaped legends like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos. Napoleon Hill once wrote in Think and Grow Rich, "What you think about, you become." But if that's true, why do so many people struggle to succeed? Is it because they don't dream big enough? Or perhaps they don't recognize their own potential? Today's story will uncover the answers to these questions and reveal a life-changing lesson that could transform how you see yourself. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear might just spark your own breakthrough. Once, inside a bustling railway station, there lived a beggar. Every day, he survived by asking passengers for spare change as they waited for their trains. One afternoon, while going about his usual routine, he noticed a sharply dressed businessman stepping onto the platform. His tailored suit, polished shoes, and confident stride made him stand out. The beggar thought to himself, "This man is surely wealthy. If I ask him, he'll give me a generous amount." So, with hope in his eyes, the beggar stretched out his hand. But instead of reaching for his wallet, the businessman looked at him and asked a question that shook him to the core. "Do you always just take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar froze. No one had ever spoken to him like that before. Confused, he replied, "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I survive by asking. I have nothing to give." The businessman smiled slightly and said, "If you believe you have nothing to give, then you also have no right to ask. I believe in exchange. If you can offer me something, I'll gladly give you something in return. But if you truly have nothing to give, I cannot give you anything either." And with that, he boarded his train and left. The beggar stood there stunned. He had been begging for years, but no one had ever spoken such truth to him. That night, he lay awake, replaying the words in his mind. If you want to receive, you must first give. For 2 whole days, he didn't beg. He was lost in thought. Then, on the 3rd day, something caught his eye: a patch of wildflowers blooming near the railway tracks. An idea lit up his mind. What if instead of just asking, I give something in return? What if I offer a flower to everyone who gives me money? Excited, he gathered a small bunch of flowers and returned to his spot. The next time someone gave him a coin, he smiled and handed them a flower in return. To his surprise, people accepted the flowers with joy. Some even smiled, thanked him, and gave more than usual. Day after day, he noticed a clear pattern. When he had flowers to give, people gave generously. When he ran out, the donations dropped. The truth was undeniable: people loved to receive value in return. Weeks later, the beggar spotted the same businessman again. This time, he rushed over eagerly. "Sir," he said, "today, I have something to give you. If you give me money, I will give you flowers in return." The businessman smiled, handed him cash, and accepted the flowers. "You have understood the value of exchange," he said. "Today, you are no longer a beggar, you are a businessman." Those words changed everything. That very day, the former beggar made a bold decision. He left the railway station behind not as a beggar, but as a budding entrepreneur. He started selling flowers properly, treating it as a real business. 6 months later, at the same railway station, 2 well-dressed men shook hands. One looked at the other curiously and asked, "Do I know you?" The other man smiled. "Yes, we met twice before, right here. The first time, I was a beggar. The second time, I gave you flowers. And today, I am the owner of a thriving flower business, traveling to expand it further." The businessman's eyes widened in amazement. "That's incredible. What changed?" The flower seller replied with a smile. "You taught me life's greatest truth. We only receive when we give." That day, I realized I was never really a beggar. I was a businessman all along. I just needed to see myself that way. They shook hands once more, not as rich and poor, but as equals two businessmen on their way to the future. Life is shaped by how we see ourselves. If you believe you are small, you'll remain small.